The new moon in Pisces on Wednesday, March 2nd is asking us to believe. It conjoins Jupiter, the planet of growth, faith, and abundance, promising good luck to our initiatives and realization of our dreams. So let's dive into the warm waters of Pisces and break down this lunation for each rising sign. My name is Anastasia. For those of you new here, I'm a traditional Western astrologer. I use whole sign system and specialize in natal, relationship, and predictive astrology. If you're interested in booking a reading with me, check out the link down below. And please subscribe, leave me a comment or a like. I really appreciate all of the support that I get from you. Before I dive in, wanted to let you know that I am writing March horoscopes. These are personalized and look at your natal chart to break the events ahead, and they include personal events as well. So you can email me or DM me on Instagram to order yours. So let's talk about this new moon. This new moon is happening at 12 degrees Pisces on Wednesday, March 2nd at 12:34 p.m. Eastern. New moon is the sun-moon conjunction, so there's always a sense of new beginnings, planting seeds, manifesting. And this one is even more potent, or even more, it's a lot luckier, I would say, because this new moon is conjoining Jupiter. And Jupiter rules Pisces. Jupiter in Pisces is wet and moist, and the earth that you're planting your seeds in has even more fertilizer, let's say, using that metaphor. So there is a sense that you can manifest things, right? Like with Jupiter, there's good luck, there is optimism, there is faith, you believe in yourself, and Jupiter expands things. So you really want to make sure that you're focusing on the positive thoughts and you're believing in yourself. That's why I started this video by saying that the new moon really wants us to believe. Believe in the success, believe in your good luck, believe in the universe being on your side. There might be opportunities coming your way with this new moon, gifts, compliments. Sun is sextiling Uranus at the same time, which means the moon is also sextiling Uranus. So you may have a stimulating encounter with someone, even a conversation with a person that then, you know, the cycle takes about 6 months to unravel. In the 6 months from now, you may realize that, you know, I met someone on the street and they complimented my outfit and I decided to become a designer or something like that. So there's electric, faster thinking, and it inspires you to pursue new things. You want to grow, you want to expand. New moon conjoining Jupiter is really lovely for travel, for education opportunities, for networking, connecting with people, and expanding your relationships, expanding your mind. Yeah, like education, travel, socializing, all of that kind of stuff. The sextile to Uranus promises innovative thinking, creative breakthroughs, especially, yeah, like if you are a creative individual, maybe you felt stuck, or even if you haven't, maybe you get a wonderful idea and it's a story about the future, or it's a story about astrology, right? And there's more potential that if you pursue those Uranian things, if you think outside the box, if you talk about science, architecture, technology, astrology, design, anything like that, projects in that vein, in those spheres, will be successful. And finally, Mercury also conjoins Saturn on the same day, and Mercury-Saturn kind of brings our intellect down a little bit. So even though we may have a lot of interesting new ideas, Mercury-Saturn says that you need to think long-term and you need to be cautious and critical and serious in your thinking. There's a greater ability to make a plan and stick to the plan. And finally, Pisces being the sign of transcendence and spirituality and unity, and like understanding people, being on the same page with others. Jupiter is also highly kind of like high-minded planet. It's concerned with the well-being of others. So you really want to make sure that in your games, you're not just trying to satisfy your personal desires, because you may get a boost of intuition and sensitivity and good fortune, but if you waste all of it on purely materialistic pursuits, there is a price that you likely will pay in the end. So you want to be careful, you want to be high-minded. Jupiter will encourage that. And of course, you know, we have Jupiter and Neptune conjunction coming up in April. So it's a long story that's going to play out for a while. So pay attention to what's happening to you around March 2nd, and those plans, those new beginnings will maybe become more known. They will be like better and clearer and more transparent to you and others in April and then further on. So let's talk about every rising sign and see what this might bring to you. Starting as always with Aries rising. For Aries rising, this new moon is happening in the 12th house and it's sextiling Uranus in the 2nd house. So there is a chance for Aries rising with the new moon in the 12th house of releasing something. There might be a loss that you have to go through, whether that's an emotional loss or it's more a kind of a spiritual loss, because 12th house deals with spiritual blocks. It's usually all the ways in which we limit ourselves, sabotage ourselves. So this is a lovely time to focus on your well-being, to release any negative habits, right? Like, do you drink a bit much? Do you eat a bit much? How can you create healthier routines, put them in place? So maybe you're releasing negative patterns of thoughts, maybe you're releasing addictions, maybe you're letting go of people that are not receptive to your goals, people that are standing in your way, people that are not believing in you. And that in turn may result in increased self-worth. There might be a financial bonus too, because Uranus being in the 2nd house of finances, maybe you get a bonus and that inspires you to invest into your mental health. Maybe you sign up for therapy and, you know, maybe you book a massage, yoga, a spiritual retreat. You really want to focus on your healing with this new moon and letting go of the things that are standing in your way. There might be also a chance that you're making money on something that is a little bit hidden, because new moon in the 12th house, you know, the ascendant doesn't see. It's the dark house right next to the ascendant, to the 1st house. So something behind the scenes, maybe it's a spiritual business, maybe you're secretly starting to see astrology clients, maybe you're starting to teach yoga. There's multiple possibilities, but it's likely that you're going to get not only financial gains, but also emotional gains. And a couple of other things that I can see with this lunation is you learning to prioritize rest and well-being. Kind of like, you know, maybe meditating, maybe once again, like seeing a therapist, trying to put in healthier routines. And another possibility is also moving or traveling is likely, because 12th house is the place of foreign lands. So maybe you get a chance to expand your world through going to a new place. For Taurus rising, this new moon is happening in the 11th house. And of course, Jupiter is also in your 11th house and it sextiles Uranus in the 1st. So there might be, we're connecting the house of personal growth, self-development with the house of social media, networks, groups, colleagues. So you can see an opportunity coming from someone in your network. Maybe, you know, they offer you to pioneer a project. Maybe they offer you to collaborate. Maybe you start a group project with friends. And if in some way this is likely to feel more aligned with who you are on a core level, on a true level. There might be changes happening in your social network because I feel like with Jupiter being in your 11th house from December until May this year, you're likely finding people who are more supportive of your true self, people who are more aligned with your true values. So this new moon can also bring the beginning of that. Maybe you put yourself out there, right? On like Bumble Friends, BFF, I think that's a thing. And you find people who connect with the new version of yourself. 11th house deals with giving back sometimes. So having a job or connecting with people, maybe volunteering, donating money is a possibility too. And of course, it's also a place of social media. So I can totally see for Taurus risings having some kind of action on social media where maybe you present your idea to the world, maybe you announce your new business, and even present your brand to the world. For Gemini risings, this new moon is happening in the 10th house and it sextiles Uranus in the 12th. Of course, new moon in the 10th house, it's the sector of career, profession, brings new beginnings in the professional realm. So you may see a raise, you may see a new job, a new project, some other type of recognition. Because Uranus is in the 12th house, it's interesting. It might be a project that you're working on behind the scenes that maybe it's like a second job, right? It's not your main job, but it might be some other side hustle that you're committing to and dedicating a lot of time to. It may also be in the 12th house, with Uranus being in the 12th, it might be like a spiritual thing. If you volunteer in your free time, if you teach the poor or help the poor, there might be kind of like, maybe that's the opportunity that comes your way, or maybe if you do that, it gets kind of, you get a confirmation of your efforts. You may get like in the next 6 months a recognition when it comes to that. I think with Uranus in the 12th house, another important energy that you may be feeling right now is taking a leap, believing in yourself, believing that you can do it, and just, putting yourself out there, because 12th house is the place of self-limiting behaviors, self-undoing patterns. So are you standing in your way somehow? Are you not, like maybe you have a plan, but you haven't taken any action on that plan. So this is a really great time to get serious and to take that leap. Ask for a raise, ask for a promotion, ask for more responsibility. Jupiter is on your side. You can totally get it if you put some effort in. For Cancer risings, this new moon is happening in the 9th house and it's sextiling Uranus in the 11th. For Cancer risings, there might be an opportunity to teach, study, or travel coming from your network. Maybe, someone tells you like, hey, there's this teaching position, or like, hey, let's go and study film production together, or something like that. So you're expanding your world more than, we're all expanding our world somehow, but I think for Cancer risings, because this new moon is happening in the house of learning and travel and philosophy, religion, even more so you're asking yourself, what can you learn, like how can you maybe take a different role in the world and embody that position of a teacher? What do you have to share? What is your message? And where do you see yourself in the world? What is your place? Uranus in the 11th might imply that you're starting a social media page maybe, and you're starting to teach online, or you're presenting yourself to the world as a teacher. Maybe you're becoming more proactive. Maybe you're asking people in your network to bring you clients or students, anything like that. Even a trip with a friend is a possibility, or trip to see a friend is a possibility. New beginnings in publishing and new beginnings in the legal field are possible too, because 9th house deals with legal matters, and maybe you're studying to be a lawyer. so it's a lovely time to pursue those legal studies. Definitely ask yourself, what is your message? What do you want to share with the world, and how would you like the larger world to see you? And present yourself, announce that to the world. For Leo risings, you get the new moon in the 8th house and it sextiles Uranus in the 10th. Very much energy of professional collaborations. 8th house deals with debts and resources of other people. So you might be taking on a debt. You may be paying off a debt that allows you more professional freedom. You might be joining resources with someone, asking someone for money, right? Like something that allows you to write that script, maybe that you've been postponing, or something that like you find a producer and they sponsor your movie. You're coming together. You're definitely coming together, or you're pooling resources. You're kind of looking at your network and then people and money that you need in order to pursue professional initiatives. There might be healing as well with the 8th house, because 10th house is career, but 10th house is also your reputation in the world. And having a new moon in the 8th house sometimes may force you to look at your, behaviors that don't serve you anymore, the fears that you have. It may bring the new moon in the 8th sextiling Uranus. Uranus is insights, right? There might be deep psychological realizations, maybe similarly to like the 12th house and Aries rising, maybe there's something that you have to let go of, like someone or something. There might be a sense that you need to rethink the contracts you have with people in your life, spoken and unspoken contracts and agreements. Maybe you are in a relationship, but you feel like things are not fully fair. This would be a lovely time to redefine what fair and what isn't fair in your relationship, and maybe talk it out and have an honest conversation. And finally, changes to your partner's resources are possible with this new moon as well. Like maybe your partner gets an inheritance, or they get a bonus, they get some kind of boost, and that in turn trickles down and allows you to invest money into something you really want, like your career, for example. For Virgo rising, this new moon is happening in the house of relationships, 7th house, and it sextiles Uranus in the 9th. So you may literally be taking a trip with your partner. 9th house is the place of travel. So maybe you take a trip to see your partner, or you take a trip together. You may be dating someone new, or maybe in the next 6 months you begin to date someone new who is either foreign or like a teacher or a student. There might be some kind of like mentor guru archetype. Another possibility for Virgo risings for sure is starting a business partnership or starting a collaboration that deals with topics of education, religion, faith, writing, publishing a book. Very much about coming together with other people and then traveling, learning, expanding. Definitely, if you're single, there is a possibility for meeting someone new soon. And if you believe in that, you really have to like believe and manifest. Use this lunation to jot down your ideas, create an image of your perfect partner, and believe that, he or she, they will manifest. For Libra risings, this new moon is happening in the 6th house, which classically has been the house of hard work, service, health, and it sextiles Uranus in the 8th house, which is the place of karmic debts that are good, that support us, and debts that we have to pay. So there might be new beginnings in your health. Maybe you're choosing to take better care of yourself. Maybe you're making that appointment. Maybe you're taking a risk somehow to do something that makes you happy, right? Like maybe you've been wanting to start an IVF treatment, but you've been really scared, and now finally you take that leap, like you're committing to your well-being, but there might be a sense of something is like terrifying about it, because 8th house is not always like the funnest place. Maybe you're taking a debt for something, or like, maybe you're getting a loan in order to better your health or better your work. Definitely a possibility. So you want to set new habits in place. You want to commit to taking better care of yourself and possibly like release unhealthy things. Since it's also a house of pets, there might be new beginnings in the sector of pets. And I'm a Libra rising, and I have just recently started posting new series in which I approach strangers and ask them questions about their dogs and try to guess their zodiac sign. So considering 6th house is the place of pets, and Jupiter has been in my 6th house since December last year. That's like when I got the idea and when I started implementing it. So you want to look at, what's happening with your pets, because maybe you're getting a pet, or you're becoming closer with your pet. And of course, professional things are possible here too, like committing to some kind of long-term project, but you want to make sure you're not overdoing it, because Jupiter always has a little bit of that tendency to like put too much into it and, overdo it. For Scorpio risings, this new moon conjoins Jupiter in the 5th house and it sextiles Uranus in the 7th. I totally see some Scorpio risings getting pregnant because it's new beginnings in the sector of children, or having those conversations, maybe being like, where do you stand? Where do I stand? Getting pregnant with a creative project is a possibility, and finding a collaborator that you may join forces with. Prioritizing joy and fun and connecting with your inner child, going on more dates, experimenting in your relationship, and just starting a brand new relationship, I think, is a possibility. Definitely a lot of focus on just like playful, joyful, childlike energy, and whether that manifests in your life through having a kid or it manifests in your life through being more childlike, that's definitely good, regardless of what it is. For Sag risings, this new moon is happening in the 4th house and it's sextiling Uranus in the 6th. What is happening in your home? Have you been renovating? Are you planning to buy a home? Are you buying land? There's definitely possibility of like new beginnings when it comes to real estate, land, property. Maybe you're redecorating, because it's new beginnings in the house of home, but it's sextiling Uranus in the 6th. So something might be happening like at work that gives you more time to dedicate to your home. Maybe even like, maybe you choose to start to work from home, or like free up some space. Maybe you're rearranging your schedule. You're being more innovative when it comes to your career. And that brings either a sense of like connecting with family more, spending more time at home, or just feeling more at ease, because Uranus in the 6th might be like, you're overdoing it with work and let's just try to find some healthier balance. Or like working from home. Familial dynamics might be brought up to light, as well as family karma, right? Maybe you look at the 6th house and in this new moon you realize that you're working this hard because your mom used to work this hard, and you have that kind of like deep realization that encourages you to rethink what is authentic and true to you and what is something you may have inherited and needs to be adjusted. For Capricorn rising, this new moon is happening in the 3rd house and it sextiles Uranus in the 5th house. So there might be an opportunity to have an honest conversation with someone in your life, with a romantic partner perhaps, or have an honest conversation with a child. There's definitely some kind of like better communication or a commitment to better communication that is promised with this new moon. 3rd house deals with writing and 5th house deals with creativity. So I think writing, starting a blog, learning a new skill that is more playful and creative, even taking a pottery class or taking a painting class in your neighborhood could be very much a new beginning here. Making a step-by-step plan, I also see very much as the 3rd house, because 3rd house is your daily life. So if you're trying to achieve something that is 5th house, whether you're trying to become a lead star of the show, or you're trying to become a parent, or you're trying to start a new, new project, or even have more fun in your life, you first have to empty space. You have to free up some space and you have to commit to doing something every day, right? So definitely changes to your schedule. There might be changes to the lives of your siblings as well. Maybe like a sibling is having a child and you're becoming an uncle. Could be a great time to look at your schedule and the tools that you have in your schedule, like your phone, your computer, your car. There might be the time to update any of those and ask, like, are these things helping or limiting my creativity and joy in my life? For Aqua risings, this new moon is happening in the house of finances and it's sextiling Uranus in the 4th house. So new beginnings in the sector of finances. and values, right? That's sextile Uranus in the 4th. Are you investing into a home? Are you selling a home? Are you moving, right? There's some kind of influx or changes to your financial status connected to your home. Maybe you're literally just making a big purchase for your house, like you're buying a new couch, right? That's a possibility. Watch out for like overspending, because Jupiter and new moon, there might be kind of like, I pay for everything, drinks for everyone. So you want to be careful there. Maybe you're making a plan to invest into the home, or just kind of like looking at your finances could be a good idea around this new moon. And I also can see, because Uranus being like a planet of surprises in the house of home and family, is your mom moving in with you? Or are they giving you money to buy something? Definitely some kind of changes in the finances connected to home and family. And let me know if this resonates. Let me know what's happening in your life in the comments below. For Pisces rising, this new moon is happening in the 1st house, so it's all about you. Jupiter has been in your 1st house, encouraging you to pursue new things, to reinvent yourself, reimagining your life, and really just believe in yourself. And it sextiles Uranus in the 3rd house, so there might be opportunities to write, to teach, to be in your neighborhood more, to have like a job or start something that's more hands-on and more involved. You're focusing on your growth, you're focusing on your authenticity. You may be learning to say no to certain things and to say yes to other things. You're reinventing your brand. You're like asking yourself what your dreams are. And this is truly the time. It's the time for things to work out, right? And if they're taking a moment, if you feel like there is some frustrating things with Aquarius, Saturn being in your 12th house, all that Saturn in the 12th house wants to, it just wants you to let go of all the ways in which you sabotage yourself. And Jupiter says the time is now. The time is to let go and start it. So focus on promoting yourself, self-promotion, focus on writing a list of who you want to be, just kind of allowing yourself to journal and your imagination to flow and manifest your new future. Let me know how this resonates in the comments below. Always a pleasure. I hope you guys have a wonderful new moon. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.